If anxiety was something you could just think your way out of, you'd have done it already. But instead, your head starts getting full of ideas, your heart starts racing, your chest gets tight, your shoulders creep up, your jaws lock, and your brain just goes, hey man, something's wrong. And then somebody hits you with, hey, just relax. Well, that's not really helpful. It's really kind of frustrating because anxiety isn't just in your thoughts. Anxiety is in your body. Hey, I'm Dr. William July, the psychologist translating psychology into straight talk about mental health. And today, while I'm on vacation trying to relax, tension in my mind and my body are trying to hijack me. I don't appreciate that. Sometimes all you have to do is just take a quick look at your email and boom, you're right there in the spiral. So let's talk about how to hijack the hijacker. So I'm going to show you a technique that sounds completely backwards. And so stay with me on this, but it actually works. Instead of trying to relax, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to tighten our muscles. And once you understand why, it's going to make a lot more sense then. First, let me give you a little quick disclaimer here. I want you to think about this and remember this. Before we get started, you have to remember that psychologists, we look at things biopsychosocially. In other words, we look at the biological aspect of behavior, the psychological aspect, and also life circumstances and psychological aspects. All those things are connected. So make sure that you're also taking care of your physical health because it's all connected. Stay in touch with your primary care provider. Get your medical exams because sometimes things look psychological and they may be medical in origin. Now that we have that, assuming that you're able to do this physically, one of the biggest misconceptions about anxiety is believing that it's only happening in your thoughts. Well, it's not. Your brain and body, they're having a conversation every second of the day. Your thoughts are influencing your muscles, and your muscles are sending information back to your brain. So sometimes the fastest way to calm your mind is to calm the body first. You can start there. That's exactly what progressive muscle relaxation does. I'm gonna give you some techniques to use. Let's break that down. Technique number one. Most people don't know that they're tense. They don't even realize it sometimes. I fall into that category too. Here's something that I see all the time people doing. They'll tell me, well, I'm relaxed, I'm chill. But meanwhile, their shoulders are all up around their ears, jaws are clenched, neck is tight, I'm sure. Fists are half closed, because after living with anxiety and tension long enough, it kind of becomes your normal. In your mind, it becomes your normal state. So here's what we got to do. We're going to start at our feet. We're going to do progressive muscle relaxation. Curl your toes down tightly. Hold it for about 5 seconds. Now completely let it go with your toes. Now move it up to let's say your calves. Tighten your calves. Do it for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then release it. Now move up to your abs. Do it in your abs. Pull those tightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go. Now your chest. Do the same thing, your chest. And then after you release your chest, then you move up to your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then lift them up, move them around. I like to move mine around. Hold it. Drop them. Exhale. That's the point. What you're doing, your brain just learned that is what relaxation feels like. Your brain, you just taught your brain to relax. You can't intentionally relax muscles if you don't realize you're holding them tight. So think of it like a rubber band. If you've been stretching that rubber band all day without realizing it, you don't ever notice the tension. You don't really notice it anymore. But the moment you pull it tight on purpose and then you let it snap back, you feel that release. And that's what you're doing when you're with your muscles here in progressive muscle relaxation. So let's look at technique number 2. Your body has a built-in reset button. So here's the interesting part about that. Muscles are not designed to stay fully contracted. So when you intentionally tighten them and then release them, they naturally settle back into a deeper state of relaxation. Psychologists often refer to this as the rebound effect. Your body already knows how to relax. Sometimes it just needs the opportunity. Ooh, man, that Caribbean breeze feels good. You see me sweating here. All right. You're not trying to force the relaxation. You're just letting your nervous system do what it's designed to do. It's like pulling that rubber band back, and instead of holding it there all day, you finally let it go. It doesn't just go back to neutral, it settles. That's your body resetting itself. And that's what we're really trying to do. So we're trying to get the body to reset itself. All right, let's move on to technique number 3. We have 4 techniques that I'm going over here today. This is number 3. Want to break that anxiety cycle. Now here's where it's really going to get even more interesting. Anxiety is creating a feedback loop. Your brain senses danger, even unconsciously. Sometimes you're picking up on danger and you're responding to it and don't realize it. Your muscles start tightening. Those tight muscles send signals back to the brain saying, we're still in danger. Your brain responds with more anxiety. Your brain's trying to protect you, so it wants to get you out of that situation, so it's going to make you even more anxious. Round and round it goes. When you intentionally release muscle tension, you interrupt that conversation. That's what we're trying to do. You're giving your brain new information. I'm not fighting. I'm not running. Maybe I'm actually in a safe situation. You're telling your brain this. Sometimes changing the body first can relate back to changing the brain since the message is back. It's all tied together. There's the rubber band again. If you keep that rubber band tight, it keeps signaling tension. But the moment you let it go, everything changes. That's what you're doing with the anxiety loop. Here's what's happening physiologically. Progressive muscle relaxation directly targets the muscle tension component of anxiety. The moment you intentionally release those muscles, you're sending your brain immediate feedback that the body is no longer preparing for danger. That can reduce the fight or flight activation that you've heard about. Now that's one reason that progressive muscle relaxation often works surprisingly fast. You're not just thinking differently, you're changing the information that your body is sending to your brain. And that's why it works. Now let's look at the last technique, number 4, grounding. Grounding yourself, like when you're panicking, for example. When you're panicking, like in a panic attack, your attention gets hijacked. I mean, you really start feeling like you might pass out, or sometimes people think they're having a heart attack. Or you're worried about losing complete control. Progressive muscle relaxation gives your brain another job. Again, starting at your toes, tighten them, release. After a few seconds, start working your way up all the way through your body up to your shoulders. Instead of focusing on the catastrophic thoughts, now you're focusing on something that's happening right here, right now. That's grounding. And grounding is one of the most effective techniques to reduce panic. It's like snapping that rubber band lightly against your wrist or something. Not to hurt yourself, but to bring your attention back to the present moment. You're shifting your focus from what if, and a catastrophic what if, by the way, to what's happening right now. So as I close out, I just want to remind you that progressive muscle relaxation, it's not magic. It won't eliminate every anxious thought every time in every situation, but can we turn it down some? If you can even turn it down somewhat, if you can go down from a level 10 to a level 7, that's a win. If you can go down to a 10 to a 5 or 6 or 4, that's even better. If it completely stops, that's even better. But if you can just get a little bit of turning it down some, that'll a lot of times make you feel better. The key is not waiting until you're in the middle of a panic or an anxiety situation to do it. Learn the skill now. Start practicing it now. I would even suggest you take a few minutes, watch this video over again, and practice going through progressive muscle relaxation. I'm Dr. William.